I'm Rocket Child, and welcome to How to Make a Language Part 2. So, a few months ago, I designed my own writing system, and I suggest that you watch that video first before continuing, and I'll put the link over in the top corner. Since that time, I've been journaling regularly, and I have even written pen pal letters to one of my friends, and naturally this writing system has evolved by just getting faster and finding ways to be more efficient. So this video is about how my language is evolving, things that I think need to improve, and different ways to make it more fun and interesting. So this is more of a code than an actual language system. So I haven't reached the JRR token level quite yet, but give me time. If you want to make your own written language system and you want some ideas and tips, keep watching because I think this video will be really fun and interesting for you. On the left, I printed out an easy chart of the characters so I can use this comparison. However, if you want to see the full characters, it's best to go back and watch video 1 so you can understand what the characters actually mean. The evolution of this writing system happened because I was using it all the time in my journal to write personal notes to myself and even write pen pal letters with my friends. As you can see on the right hand side, the language has evolved. In a similar way that running writing makes it easier to write normal English style characters. So let's get started on some of the observations I've made. On the left, the characters were designed with very clean shapes. However, it made it difficult to read because some of them look very similar to each other. I realized that by adding extra lines to it, I could make the shapes more characteristic and easier to read. An example is the characters for A is a triangle, like an equilateral one, and the character for L is also a triangle, but just on a different angle. When I want to write fast, the two characters end up looking very similar to each other, meaning that I need to make the L shape longer, so that when it's next to the A, you're able to see that there is a difference between the two characters. The E and the B are very similar, and so that's another situation where I can confuse myself when they are too similar to each other. I realized that by putting the stroke in a very dynamic way that goes above and below the E shape, it gives it a unique silhouette, meaning I'm able to distinguish it much easier from the B shape. By now you could probably tell that there is a pattern, that when the characters look too similar to each other, it can get confusing. Here we have the D and the C. The C is basically a backwards D, meaning if you are kind of like me who is able to read backwards, you may get confused about whether it's a D or not. So in the same way with the E, I extended the stroke through the C so that it has a distinct shape, meaning I'll be able to tell the difference between the two. For improvements, I'd like to create characters that would help indicate emotion in a more direct way. So for example, in the English language, you have an exclamation mark to show that you're speaking loudly or you're excited or angry. Not officially within the language system, but that's part of our modern day speaking is you have emojis. So you could put an angry face if you're upset or a smiley face if you're happy, and just those facial characters are able to create emotion. If you're playing music, you have the forte or the piano, which tells you whether you need to play loudly or softly. So something I would like to work on in the future is creating characters that indicate emotion that I could put into a sentence and understand the tone in an easier way. Ways I've been making this writing system more fun is experimenting with the direction of the writing. So I'm a native English speaker. We write from left to right, up to down, and so you always have that option of following that style. But then I often like to write backwards as well. That's one way of doing it, or you could always write up to down, down to up. I like writing in circles and in different directions. When doing that, I like to leave indications for myself to know how to read the script. Often I'll put numbers or markers so I know which order to read the sentences and which direction the writing is flowing. Once you get used to a particular direction of writing, then you don't need to put the indicators anymore because you'd know it off by heart. Ways that I've practiced using my code is by writing journal entries or even something simple like shopping lists, just saying I need to get some milk after work or something like that. It helps keep my mind engaged by having to figure out the meaning, and I find writing in a diary to be very relaxing and fun. So with whatever code you make up, you have the choice to make whatever rules you find, but hopefully you can take some inspiration from what I've been doing and apply it to your own projects. If for some reason you've just watched this whole video without really understanding it, I suggest you go back and watch the first video to understand how I came up with these characters. Also, I'm holding a giveaway for when we reach 2,000 subscribers on this channel for a commissioned artwork. So if you'd like to be in the running, or at least speed up the process, please subscribe below so you can be in the running. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye.